Next, the forensic audit notice. Then, the evidence of her undocumented disclosures to her ex-husband. Then, the policy violations. Then, the email she thought she deleted. Everything in order. Everything legal. Everything without my name anywhere except on the resignation letter that stated simply, "Effective immediately. I wish the company the best." My revenge didn't need drama. It needed precision. At 9:12 a.m., she stormed into the main office area, cheeks blotched red, breathing like she'd sprinted through fire. She saw my clean desk. She saw the envelope. She opened it with trembling fingers. Her voice cracked when she read it, barely loud enough for me to hear. "No, no, no." As she staggered back, the company lawyer burst into the room. He was pale, sweating, hands shaking with documents. "Ma'am, tell me you didn't. Please tell me you didn't do what we found." Her eyes shot to me. That's when she understood. I wasn't the man who would apologize. I was the man she should have never underestimated. She reached for me, some instinctive plea, but I stepped back. "Why?" she whispered. Finally, I spoke. "Because you asked me to kneel in front of the man who broke you. And you forgot that I was the one who helped you stand." Her mouth opened, but no sound came. Security arrived, not for me, for her. The CEO watched from a distance, face hardened. The staff whispered behind monitors. Her world collapsed in real time, and I walked out while she was escorted in. People talk about revenge like it's fire, as if it burns you too. They're wrong. Revenge is ice. Controlled, silent, precise. It freezes the moment of betrayal until the betrayer is forced to confront it. I didn't destroy her career. She did. I just let the truth breathe. Outside the building, the morning air felt unfamiliar, lighter. I turned my phone off. Deleted nothing, regretted nothing. She tried to break me in front of an audience, so I let her fall in front of the only audience that mattered, the one that once believed she was worthy of trust. Justice doesn't always roar. Sometimes it whispers. I still hear her voice, sharp, echoing across the all-hands meeting as if she needed an audience for her cruelty. "You're off the project until you publicly apologize to my ex-husband. My wife, my CFO, my judge, jury, executioner." The room froze. Junior analysts pretended to stare at their laptops. Senior managers inhaled the same breath and held it. I simply nodded. Okay, just that, one word. Delivered with the calm she always mistook for surrender. But that was the moment I stopped being her husband, her shield, her silent fixer. That was the moment she created the man who would end her career. There was a time she looked at me with something like gratitude. Before the promotions, before the power rewired her, before the ex-husband slithered back into her orbit, whispering poison about me. 5 years earlier, I helped her rebuild everything he destroyed: her finances, her career, her confidence. I did it without asking for credit. I designed the systems that made her look brilliant in board reviews. I coached her through panic attacks before big presentations. I turned down offers from other firms just to keep her stable, supported, safe. Funny how people forget the hands that kept them standing. She kept insisting her ex had changed. I saw through the act long before she did. Or maybe she did see it, and simply preferred his flattery over my truth. The shift came gradually. The unexplained meetings, the phone she kept flipped down, the way she snapped at me in front of staff like it was a sport. Then came the betrayal that turned my heart from flesh to stone. 3 weeks before the all-hands humiliation, I walked into her office to drop off a report. She didn't hear me. She was too busy laughing at something on her phone. And then I heard it. A voice note. His voice. Her ex. Sugary, smug, territorial. "Can't believe he still works for you, babe. Man has no spine." She laughed. Laughed. Something cold slid into me, sealing every crack. She had been feeding him company data, financial insights, my project models. She didn't even bother being careful. She trusted him more than she feared consequences. I didn't say a word. Better to let her believe she was untouchable. The betrayed always speak less. We observe more, plan deeper. The next 72 hours were the most focused of my life. First, I transferred all intellectual property I personally owned, algorithm drafts, architecture frameworks, beta structures, into a time-stamped private vault, all with legal documentation. Second, I pulled together months of meeting logs, messages, compliance inconsistencies. Nothing illegal, just enlightening when compiled neatly. Third, I scheduled a meeting with the company's legal department. Confidential. An innocuous review of internal controls. They glanced through my documentation and paled. Fourth, I printed 2 copies of my resignation, one for the CEO, another for HR, both sealed, both dated for the morning after the all-hands. Fifth, I cleared my desk, quietly, methodically. I didn't take much, just my certificates, my notebooks, and one small USB. The rest belonged to the company. Then I waited. People underestimate silence. They think if you're not screaming, you're harmless. But silence is where calculations sharpen. She thought she won when she humiliated me publicly. She expected me to grovel the next day. Instead, I arrived early, placed the resignation letter on my empty desk, and walked to the glass conference room. At exactly 8:03 a.m., the CEO called an emergency meeting with her. Legal was already there. Compliance, too. I waited just outside, leaning against the wall, invisible to them, but fully aware of the fuse I had laid. Through the frosted glass, I saw her shape stiffen. Someone slid my file across the table. She flipped it open. I saw her hand fly to her mouth. Good.